G'day! In today's video I'm opening up an iPhone 12 Pro Max to replace it with a hard OLED display. This particular one down here has suffered a bit of water damage and is now lighting up green. So I've had it on my blue heat pad at 75 degrees Celsius now for quite some time being about 10 minutes. So this is going to be quite warm to the touch. I'm going to use a pentalobe screwdriver to take the screw out. Being a bit stubborn. Now changing over that display, it will produce error messages. So it will come up and say a non-genuine or aftermarket display has been attached. That we know. And we'll lose the True Tone function. Now, I'm going to pry this open using a thin metal pry tool. Now, this is not the method I would recommend doing if you are trying to get out a working screen. But a damaged screen with no care, put in, pry up, like so. That was quite, there we go. Originally I was just underneath the glass and the plastic frame. Now I'm actually between the frame and the metal body. Now this will fold slightly like a book. Okay. There we go, fully released. Fold it over. From here, need to take out this bracket and this bracket up here using a tri-point screwdriver. Now this one was liquid damaged, so I'm curious to see if I'll see any signs of liquid damage. So far at this point I'm not. It's definitely a good thing there. So I'm not sure how the screen got damaged, whether it got damaged. Yeah. Now sadly I can't reuse or use my programmer, or at least as far as I last researched, I can't use my WLP8000 to transfer some of the firmware off the old screen to the new screen. I'm going to have to leave it blank. So, last I looked there was none available. Here I'm just putting my nail under and flicking it up. I'll move this out of the way now. And I'll do the same over here. Flick up and it's released. From here I want to disconnect the battery. Now I just have to figure out which one is the battery. There we go. That one there is now got the battery disconnected. Before I do the full swap, I do want to make sure this screen will function on there. So I'll open it up. I will leave off that sensor just for the sake, or for the fact of testing. So make sure the the battery is always disconnected when disconnecting and when you reconnect the LCD screen. Haven't had any issues with it being the battery connected while I disconnect the display, but afterwards when I connect it up, always make sure it's disconnected. Hitting the power button now. Hopefully I see an image. So far I'm seeing nothing. So that is a bit underwhelming. We'll just go stick it on charge. Sometimes it doesn't actually acknowledge the battery being reconnected. Also it may be still quite warm as it has been on. I'm seeing liquid on the front of the screen here, which makes me curious as to where that did just come from. A closer inspection on here. No, I'm not really seeing much in the way of liquid. I'll go put this on charge and then try it. So disappointingly that screen didn't work, but I did have an RJ in-cell display, which probably, hoping it means it's not an LCD, but I'm not seeing much on the way there. So I'm going to proceed with the installation with this. as opposed to the other display. Just peeling off the backing, not the black bit. There we go. There. One screw. Two. And we change to a Phillips head. 3, 4. I'm going to use some of my fine tweezers to take this off. Just better lift this bit up. The heat here is making this a lot easier for me. And I tend to go under this silver bit just here to lift it up. And then work my way over to the other side. There. There and here. So with that removed, it's a matter of lining it up over here. Push this one in first. Over the speaker. Over there. Fold this down, push it down. Okay, the larger screws. 1. 2. 3. 4. And this film here comes off. And the backing shouldn't come off. Put that aside for now. Turn off my heat. Zoom out a little bit. Now I'll connect up this top one first. This top one's for your earpiece sensor. Earpiece sensor. Ugh. Sensors and earpiece flex. Next up, there's a little corner up here that you need to kind of go under. Put it under there. Slide it forward. Put those screws to put in. One. 2. 3. 4. Next up, this connector down the bottom here. The display, push that in. Connect up the battery. And this one needs to go over the top. Don't be too concerned about mixing up the screws. The screws themselves are all of the same variety. As Apple have gotten on, they've discovered that having 20 different types of screws in a phone for the same kind of stuff is probably not that handy and not that useful. There we go. Fold that over like a book. Make sure that this is kind of going into here. Clear that section. Make sure this is folding over properly down here. Typically I work at the top and go down. Hit the power button and we should start waking up. Like so. It will produce the display warning as I mentioned. Next up, pentalobe screws in the bottom. And from there, it should be mostly completed. Anyway, that concludes on how to replace the display on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Hope this helps, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.